Welcome to Tuttle Talk on 1190 AM. Now, live in studio, your host, local real estate expert, Andy Tuttle.
Good morning and welcome to Tuttle Talk here on the Real Estate Radio Network, where we teach you what the rich and the banks do, not what they tell you to do, and where we dispel the misconceptions of financial wellness and the local real estate market, and where we show you where focusing and practicing a few key principles really can help you focus on the other important areas of your life, like your friends, your family, and the community. It's the most important hour of radio every Saturday right here on Clear Channel 1190 AM, and we start at 11 o'clock every Saturday. I am your host, Andy Tuttle. This is the great state of Texas. I'm so happy to be with you, so happy that you are joining me. You can call me at my off-air number at 214-736-9696, 214-736-9696. You can also email me at questions@andytuttle.com. And don't forget, become a fan of the show. We love that. Love to be able to share good information with you, what's going on in the market on a regular basis. And you can hear all of the good things that are happening at facebook.com/Tuttle Talk. You can also listen online at dfw1190am.com. And don't forget, that iHeartRadio app is awesome. You can have it on your phone, or if you have an iPad or a tablet, you can do it there. You can have it online as well. It's a great way to listen not only to this show, but a ton of different shows, actually. So summer has been hot, but it's finally fading away. We are officially done with summer. Yay! And bills, though, have been expensive. So wouldn't it be nice to get a little relief from that? Well, you can get it if you text 72727. Get out your phone. Put in the text 72727, and then in the comment section, type Andy T, no spaces, ANDYT as in Texas, and you will enter to win a free month of electricity. And this is it. I mean, you have till the end of the show to put this in. So get the number, dial it 72727, and put in Andy T, and you will be entered to win a free month of electricity, sponsored by the great Utility Concierge. By the way, you got to go to utilityconcierge.com. Look them up. It is a great free service to you to either reprice your electricity, your utilities, your security, your internet, all that stuff, or if you're buying a home, have someone to be able to take care of all that for you, so you just go in the home and your lights are on and everything's hooked up. That's what you want. That's what they do for you at no cost to you. You know, there was a story. Did you guys hear about this on CNN the other day? It's a great story. By the way, I'm here joined with the great John Allen, owner of Texas Community Insurance. Thanks,
Morning,
John.
Folks.
Good to have you here as always. Did you hear the
Great to be
story,
here.
John? It was it's on CNN about two hunters that are in the woods. And one of them just collapses. So I guess he frantically calls 911. He's like, my friend is dead. What do I do? What can I do? Right? And so the operator hey, calm down. I can help. First, let's just make sure he's dead. And so then there's a silence and a gunshot. The guy gets back on the phone and says, okay, now what? Hey.
Nice. Very
You
nice.
can't laugh beforehand. I mean, it's a true story. How are you dead?
That's funny,
bad?
actually.
Yeah, that's right. I have the two hunters in studio with me today. Chris Ohlig with Halo Realty Group. He focuses in the Frisco and the Colony. And we also have Tessa Larson here with Keller Williams Realty in Plano. I've had the pleasure of doing business with both of these great agents. They're both experts in their markets, and I'm excited to have them both here to tell you about what's really going on with the inventory in those markets, what the trends are, some tips on how to buy and sell, all kinds of good stuff. So you don't want to miss that discussion. But right now the discussion is about your wealth and your financial wellness. And we call this segment The Word on Wealth, and it's brought to you today by Randy Nichols and Spectrum Financial Group. Randy is a financial advisor. He actually helps me with my personal financial goals. He also helps many of our clients, and he and Spectrum have been helping you get there since 1901. John, I want to talk to you about the insurance piece. Now, I know people look forward to talking about insurance as much as they look forward to root canal, right?
Maybe less.
Maybe. That's right. They may look forward to that less. But there's really so much to it, and that's one of the things you have taught me, is it's not, of course, just about the rate. It's about so many other dynamics that happen, and specifically with Texas insurance and what's happening here. I mean, we are now the riskiest area as far as insurance is concerned in the nation, right?
One of them, absolutely.
And why is that?
Well, weather patterns get in the way, and they there's a 51% chance, if you're going to have a claim, that it's going to be weather-related, wind and hail-related. So that's a big deal.
That is a big deal. And we have wind, hail. You can get a hurricane winds up here. You get tornadoes, right? You got ice, all kinds of fun, adventurous stuff for us, and then not so much for the insurance companies.
Absolutely.
So what do you got for us today, John?
All right, so I preached this theme about why you need a good agent. I want to give you a really quick anecdote about why that's important. So we have one of our clients went away on vacation recently, and while they were away, the power on their house went out. And when the power on their house went out, the air conditioning unit on their pool stopped working, so they came back from vacation and had an algae problem in the pool, right?
Wait, time out. You have an AC on your pool? I guess that
Well,
makes
it's to
sense.
keep the temperature at 80 instead of 95 or whatever it is.
Shows
And so
you
they
who
wanted to
doesn't
keep it
have a
controlled,
pool.
right? Well, welcome to. I didn't know that either. So
Okay,
that's
great.
fine. So anyway, the electricity goes out. Now they got algae in the pool. Can't swim in the pool. A week or so later, they realized that they had a leak problem in the ceiling because the condensation unit on the air conditioning stopped working, and then it froze up, and this led to that, and it was all attributable to the same problem. Well, initially, what they wanted to do was they wanted to call that in as 2 claims. And here's the problem with that. One, now they would have had 2 non-weather claims on their insurance history, in which case they wouldn't have been insurable for a lot of companies, and or their premiums would have gone through the roof.
Right.
2, the amount of money on each of these individual claims probably would have been south of the deductible. And 3, they'd actually gone and cleaned up the mess before they thought to call it into claims, which means they probably wouldn't have been paid for it in the first place. Now,
Right, because when you do that, you are basically, there's no evidence, I guess, right?
Right. You've kind of tampered with the evidence. Therefore, yeah, maybe you'll get paid, maybe not. So really the lesson in here isn't whether or not you should file a claim. It's how and when do you file it and make sure you do it right. If you talk to an agent that knows what they're doing, then they're going to walk you through that, make sure you don't mess it up and file it the wrong way and therefore hurt yourself financially down the road.
I got you. So that's what I like about you, man. It's like you're saving me money.
Right.
Because I use you for my own insurance, so I know that these things, when they come up, because they have, but when they come up in different situations, that it's so much better to have someone like you who knows what they're talking about than that call center person who doesn't know and really can't help you.
It's just be smart about it. Ideally, we get to know each other a little bit. You trust that I'm not leading you down the wrong path. We've actually done a little bit of research. In this case, I actually called claims. I said, how would you pay this out?
Right.
I said, well, here's what's likely to happen. So it's not just me making this up. It's an educated piece of feedback.
That's great, and it saves a lot of money because if you're going to, like you say, if you file the claim, you still got a deductible.
Right.
So you're going to be paying money out of pocket anyway,
Right.
but then now your premiums go up versus it's like, and that's what you got to understand. It's not just getting the insurance policy. It's what's happening when something happens, right? I mean,
Exactly.
That's what insurance is for.
That's exactly right.
Whether big or small, there's different strategies you need to put in place, and sometimes it's a good idea to go ahead and claim it, and sometimes it's not. And it doesn't have to go, and it doesn't have to do with even if this had met the claim amount, right, or the deductible. Maybe it wouldn't have mattered because again, they already cleaned up the evidence, so they would have
Exactly.
wasted a lot of time. So that's why one call to someone like you can really help them understand get through the smoke.
And even in this case, if they had tried to go back after the electric company and tried to subrogate, if they don't get 100% subrogation, this is getting kind of technical, sorry, but
Yeah.
if they don't get 100% of it back, it's still going to count as a claim.
So what is subrogation? real
That
quick,
just
since you
means that
brought
they
it up?
basically go back after the other company's insurance to get paid back, so your insurance doesn't have to pay it out.
Right, the insurance does that. That's right.
But if they don't win that case, then it's going to count as a claim against you.
That is no, that's good. That's good information. That's for, it's good for your personal life. It's good to know these things for your business, and especially if you're whatever walk of life you are from, you deal with these issues. And I'm a business owner. I still deal with these issues. You're a business owner, John. There's a lot of you out there, and these kind of things are important. And your whole financial picture is important. And that's why I want to move this conversation to Randy Nichols with the Spectrum Financial Group and continue this conversation on World on Wealth with you, Randy. And you were here last week with us talking about challenges business owners face. And we had 10 of them.
That's right.
And we were able to squeeze in 5. So if you would, for our listeners, if you would let's go over the first 5 real quick, recap those, and let's get into the next, the rest of this, because it was really good information. We got some great feedback last week.
Absolutely. All right. Recap 1 through 5. Number 1, have a thoughtful, well-written business plan and stick to it. I feel like Letterman. Number 2,
Drum roll.
seek out a network of business advisors. That's the informal board of director I talked about. Number 3, find a financial professional with experience in serving small businesses. Number 4, know your core customers and delight them. And number 5, define and communicate your unique value in the market.
Those are great summary. And I know we gave a couple of referrals to good books last week. If you want to get some more information on defining yourself in the marketplace and getting your ideal client and then structuring your business plan, a couple of good books for you are one, Book Yourself Solid by Michael Port. He is a marketing genius, international sales on his book, and then also Michael Gerber's book, The E-Myth Revisited Be Good. It's the Entrepreneurial Myth Revisited. So those are two good books to pick up if you are a business owner or an aspiring business owner. Okay, Randy, let's get to the next 5.
All right, number 6, hire better and offer good benefits. Here's something interesting, Andy. Typically, the pool of talented, highly trained, educated people grows in a down economy. So it's really interesting. There are a lot of talented people out there. So
There really, really are.
Absolutely. There are a lot of talented people out there. So if you can, as a small business owner, get a hold of individuals like that, then you're going to increase your brain power within your organization. So find them and hire them. And then here's a little unusual tip. In addition to those normal benefits that you offer, consider offering voluntary benefits. Those are ones that, as you as an owner, offer to the employee, but you don't pay for it. They pay, but it enhances the benefit package. So that's number 6. Number 7, revisit your overhead expense and trim the fat. We've already heard that most American businesses are making more profit because they cut back during the downturn. Well, guess what? As a small business owner, you ought to look at your overhead expenses and see what can be reduced or eliminated, because you're no different. You're just on a smaller scale. And as something very simple, can you reduce your credit card fees or charges? If you can, then you need to maybe renegotiate that or alter what you're doing. Number 8, consider tapping your whole life insurance policy for its cash value if you're stuck for credit. You mentioned last week when we were talking about key man insurance, buy-sell agreements, things of that nature. Well, guess what? Businesses hold and own whole life insurance policies for key person insurance. Attaboy, Andy.
Thank you. Yeah, You've taught me a thing or two, so I've learned. I've listened. I listened.
They also hold them for succession planning, for buy-sell agreements, things like that. Now, whole life insurance bills cash value guaranteed. Businesses can take a loan from a whole life policy, but the policy continues to grow because it receives dividends. Now, dividends are not guaranteed, but as they are received in the policy, they can increase the policy's cash value and the death benefit. So tap the whole life if you need money. Number 9, diversify into a complementary business. Great idea, real simple, very interesting. Sometimes a bad economy causes businesses to retreat. Owners, they get scared and they don't want to expand, so they retreat into their core business. But sometimes what they do is they miss a chance to leverage their existing infrastructure. So if this is you as a small business owner, this is the time to understand that you might be able to add another product line as a complementary business or a complementary option. As an example, a coffee shop may go into light catering because they've already got the infrastructure.
Right.
And then number 10, develop an exit strategy. One of the biggest bugaboos in our business world today, Andy, is this: the business owner doesn't have a planned strategy or a succession plan. So if you're approaching retirement intending to sell your business for a retirement income, you might want to relook at that and start looking at it now, because what you're going to need is an experienced financial professional to help you put a succession plan in place. So remember this: your customers depend on your business. You depend on your business, and your business depends on you. So in challenging times or anytime, get an experienced professional, review these 10 tips, and put a plan in place.
That is a very interesting perspective, in my view, from a financial advisor, Randy. So thanks for bringing that. I don't think many of you out there would think that a financial advisor looks at business that way. I have not had as much of an experience with that either. But Randy, that's one of the things I appreciate about you and how you help me with my own business. And I know that you have a heart for doing this and the skills set and experience to back it up. So one of the things that you said to me that hit me was the find them and hire them. And I'll tell you this, if you are a financial advisor out there looking for a great spot and a great company to work for, I know Randy is always hiring. And if you're in the mortgage industry or know someone who is looking for a great place to work, we know there's a lot of talented people out there. We are always looking for great talented people with a big heart that care about helping others. So please give us a call. Or if you just want to get in touch with Randy about these 10 tips and learn how to leverage your business and get a copy of these 10 tips for business owners, either or, call us 214-736-9696, 214-736-9696, or email us at questions at andytuttle.com, and we'll get you that tip sheet, and we'll get you in touch with Randy. Mr. Nichols, thank you as always.
Thank you, sir.
You're listening to Tuttle Talk. If you need to look at your insurance coverage and work with a professional that really cares and is going to give you practical advice that's going to save you money when you need it most, or if you need to continue to build your financial house or have some questions about the challenges you face as a business owner, please call me at 214-736-9696 or email me at questions@andytuttle.com. I will personally connect you with John Allen, owner of Texas Community Insurance, or Randy Nichols over at Spectrum Financial. Coming up, I'm going to challenge the notion that you should pay cash for your house. We're seeing a lot of that lately. Also, is $150 a month in savings really worth all the hassle to do a refinance? We're going to do the numbers. The numbers may surprise you, so stay with us.
This program is brought to you by the Real Estate Radio Network. Visit realestateradio.us for more info. That's realestateradio.us.
Why do I need an agent? I'll just go online and get my own insurance. I'll save money if I do it myself, right? Online relationships aren't for everyone. A good agent gets to know a little bit about you and the things that you own so that he or she can get you the right coverage at the right price. And when you have a claim, you should feel good knowing you can call your agent, the same person who helped you get the coverage, the one who knows you, not some online stranger. If you are getting nothing out of your current insurance relationship, call me at 214-736-9696. I'm John Allen at Texas Community Insurance, and I can help you. Once again, that's John Allen, 214-736-9696.
Andy Tuttle here, host of Tuttle Talk. Yeah, I really am thrilled to get to speak to you every single week and bring the truth about our local real estate market. A lot of the stuff you hear in the news is based on national numbers, and it really doesn't mean much to us here in Dallas. So if you want the inside knowledge about what's going on in our real estate market, that is exactly what I'm here for. So give me a call, 214-736-9696, 214-736-9696. Whether you're looking to buy a home or you're looking to sell, you want to refinance or even invest, I can help you make an educated decision about what's going on and what's going to be best for you and your family. It's easy. I will give you the real facts. My team is going to give you the facts, and you're going to decide from there, right? That's how that works. So give me a call. I'm here to help. 214-736-9696 or visit me at andytuttle.com.
Why do people prefer to do business with Fidelity National Title? Some people say for the high-level security we offer through our solid financial strength. Some say they trust our history of excellent service. But most say it's our passion for excellence that keeps our customers coming back. Put your trust in a company that stands the test of time and will be here tomorrow. To learn more about Fidelity National Title, visit fidelitydfw.com or call 877-862-9111.
This is Pete the Fast Greek Horonis, host of Race Talk, the motorsports talk show, heard every Saturday live at high noon right here on 1190 AM and streaming on the web at dfw1190am.com. NASCAR, NHRA, the IndyCar Series, we cover it all every Saturday at high noon. Also, we tell you where they're racing right here in the Metroplex. So join me, Pete the Fast Greek Horonis, for Race Talk, the motorsports talk show, heard every Saturday live at high noon right here on 1190 AM and streaming on the net at dfw1190am.com. And remember, keep your racing on the track, not on the street.
Welcome back, Dallas. You're listening to Tuttle Talk on the Real Estate Radio Network right here on 1190 AM KFXR. I am your host, Andy Tuttle. Don't forget you can listen to us on your iHeartRadio app or on dfw1190am.com, and you can reach us at 214-736-9696. You can also catch all shows at andytuttle.com. We've been talking about electricity. I'm going to mention it. You've only got like 40 minutes left or something to type in 72727. Get out your phones, 72727, and then type in Andy T, no spaces, ANDYT as in Texas, and you'll be entered for a free month of electricity. We are going to announce it next week, and the drawing is done in like 40 minutes. So get it in and get your chance to win. Okay, guys, I really have been hearing a lot about this lately, and there's more and more people paying cash for house. I know that the financing is a little tighter. I understand that it's a little bit more difficult, and there's some more paperwork, and you guys, you're like, I'm just going to pay cash for this house, right? Let's talk about that. And I want to speak about two specific scenarios. We're going to talk about cash, and we're going to talk about the trouble with refinancing and people not getting off the fence right now because I'm seeing too much of both. So let's talk to the cash buyer. I know you want to tie up the home. I know you want to close more quickly. Agents love it, right? Sellers love it. Boom, they're getting paid quicker, right? It's maybe 1 week instead of 3 or 4 or more if you're with a really slow bank. But the real cost is going to cost you a lot more in dollars than it's ever going to make up for you in time. So let's make sure you know a few things. Did you know that if you pay cash for a house, when you refinance later, which most of you do because you want to get that money back, right? You want to refinance that. Well, now it's called home equity indebtedness. It's not acquisition indebtedness. So that means you can only write off up to $100,000 of that interest. So you're buying a $300,000 home and you pay cash for that, or a $200,000 home, and then you refinance that and get $150 back or $160 back, and you can only write off now $100,000 of that interest. So now you've just lost $8,000, $10,000 just in that one move over a few years. Did you also know that if you don't refinance within 6 months, you can't write off any of that interest? The IRS allows you 6 months to get a loan on that home, and if you don't do that, you've lost all interest deductibility, which is a huge value. Guys, money is so cheap right now. It's so cheap. It's practically free. 3%, 3.5%, right? In that range, excuse me, on a 30-year loan. Don't think that that's not going to cost you. So I ran an analysis for you. I'm going to post it on the fan page, but it's called the impact of leverage on a home. So I did take a $300,000 home, and let's say you did the comparison where you put it all cash or you just put $100,000 down, which I would suggest just 20 to 25%, but I just did this for easy numbers. If you did that over the first 5 years, you got to know that on the cash purchase, yes, you're going to save about $30,000 in interest, right? But you're going to cost yourself, and I'll show you those numbers in a minute, tens of thousands more by not letting that money work for you, right? So in conservative investments right now, 6% is very, very attainable, right? A lot of you are earning a lot more than that. It's called the velocity of money. So if you leverage that, instead of paying cash and losing all the earnings you could potentially have that money make for you in the marketplace, you are now tying that up. It's not liquid. If anything happens to you, your family, you can never get that money back out. And over 10 years, if you were to leverage that home, even though now you have a $1,600 payment on that house, including taxes and insurance, versus if you pay cash, you're paying like $800 or $900 a month because you still have to pay your property taxes and you still have to pay your insurance. That doesn't go away, right? So you have an $800 really higher payment by financing the home versus not. So there is a payment savings for you there, but it's not much. For that and the convenience of closing a few weeks earlier, over 10 years, you cost yourself $75,000. Is that worth it? $75,000? That's too much money to lose for a little convenience. That's not even taking into consideration the fact that you can't have all the interest deductibility, right? So you got to remember that. There are certain situations, even on a house now that's broken down and you want to fix it, you've got 203K loans, you have those renovation loans, you have the home style renovation loans. You can help yourself and finance that. It is worth a call to a lender you trust. I hope it's me. I hope it's our mortgage coaches. We will help you. We understand. We have a whole concierge program if it's a renovation loan. We understand, and my coaches understand how to help you leverage this and make this money work for you. But make the call. It's too much money. Okay, second. Let's take a look at the refinance situation because we have a lot of people still on the fence. I don't know why. I don't know why you're on the fence right now. You think that 1% is not going to save you enough money because you still are living in the fantasy world of the 90s where they said you got to save 2% on your loan. Well, that's when you couldn't have no-cost loans and it was costing you $5,000 to refinance. Well, that makes sense. Okay, you need to save 2%. But in this situation, 1%, let's say on the average, let's say $200,000 home, right? $167 a month you save. You've been in the house 3 years, though. You don't want to go to a 30-year mortgage back again, right? Because you're adding more to your loan. Now, I've done this analysis and put it on the website for you, too. But are you really adding to your term? So here's the analysis. Right now, let's say you're in the mid-4s, 4 3/4, and you refinance to a 3.75% rate, maybe lower. I just did this in general numbers. You can get that, and you can have a lender credit to cover your costs. We would cover your costs with that. So you get to save money month one, $167. Doesn't sound like a lot, right? Well, now let's say we take $50 of that and you put yourself into a life insurance policy, or you increase your current life insurance policy. Randy doubled my coverage and kept my payment the same. He can do that for you too. But you do that now, and let's say now you actually have enough life insurance to write a love letter to your wife if something happens to you or your husband, right? $1 million in coverage or more, $500,000, $1 million or more. And now you take that other $100, and I rounded down, you got another 20 there, but we won't even count that. $100 a month to prepay your mortgage. Well, now your loan is going to be paid off in 25 years instead of 27 because you did this in 2009. So you cut 2 years off your term. Now you have $1 million life insurance policy with a death benefit, and you've been able to save $100 a month if you so choose to keep that in your pocket. Or guess what? You could not pay off your loan. You could put it to higher interest rate debt. Some of you are in a lot of debt right now, but if you had an extra $100 a month that you could put towards your smallest debt because you owe $1,000 or $2,000 on a credit card, you just can't seem to get enough to pay off. Now you pay that off in 12 months, 15 months. And then you take that $100 plus the other $50 that you were paying and you put it towards your next biggest card. And soon, before you know it, in 3 to 4 years, you're getting out of debt. And now you're in a position where you can really make decisions that have to do with what's best for your family, not how can I make sure to put food on the table. Okay? And even if you're in a state and you got millions and millions, right? And you got all this passive income and you pay your house cash, okay, that makes sense. You can do that, but you're still losing money. It just doesn't matter as much to you. So convenience at the cost of tens of thousands of dollars is not worth it. Sitting on your butt and not making a 10-minute call to whatever lender you trust. And again, I hope it's me. And I hope it's our team because I know we care more than most. And Rim and Elite is a great company to work for. And they've got great platforms to help you with this. And we service the loans. We service them. You'll pay us. So if there's an issue afterwards, which sometimes happens with all servicers, we can help you out. But take the call. It's no money to make a call, guys. I got on a rant there, but it's important. You got to save money. This is the time to do it. Money hasn't been this cheap ever. So don't be lazy. Take advantage of it. This is easy. If you want to find out more and look to see if you can save money at literally no cost, then please call me at 214-736-9696. 214-736-9696 or email me questions@andytuttle.com. I'll walk you through the process. I'll personally connect you with one of my mortgage coaches, and they will go through the options with you, okay? No worries. No problem at all. We're glad to do it. You are listening to Tuttle Talk on the Real Estate Radio Network. Coming up, I'm going to bring on those two agents that are masters of their crafts in their current and respective markets. I've worked with both of them. I've had the pleasure of working with both of them, and their clients, they rave about their service. And they're innovative too. Guys, remember, some agents have been in the market 30 years, have 1 year of experience, repeated 30 times. These agents now, been in the market less than 5 years, have some different ideas, and it's aligned with what's going on in the market right now. So get ready for a little different look at what's going on in the real estate market. Stay tuned.
This program is brought to you by the Real Estate Radio Network. Visit realestateradio.us for more info. That's realestateradio.us.
Are you a grandparent? Do you want to make sure the assets you leave to your children make it down to your precious grandchildren, and your children don't lose them to divorce, creditors, or lawsuits? I can help you make sure your assets make it down to those precious grandchildren. You can reach me at 214-736-9696, 214-736-9696. I'm Lee Hilton, and I help you protect the two most important things in your life, everyone you love and everything you own.
Real Estate Radio's Tuttle Talk in Dallas is hosted by local real estate and finance expert Andy Tuttle. The purpose of the show is to help consumers understand what's really going on in our local real estate market. We're teaching you the why and the how-to, so you'll always be one step ahead of everyone else. Whether you need to sell your home for top dollar, refinance and save money, or even buy a bargain in DFW, Andy Tuttle can help. Call Andy directly at 214-736-9696. That's 214-736-9696. Take advantage of speaking with Andy anytime you're entering a real estate transaction. Having someone who can answer all your questions that truly cares about you and your family's best interest is priceless. Call Andy today and you'll be glad you did. 214-736-9696. That's 214-736-9696. Or you can visit andytuttle.com for more info.
Do you have an insurance strategy? When is the last time you had a policy checkup? Do these sound like odd questions to you? Well, they might if you are used to hearing insurance agents talk only about all the money they can save you on your insurance. Saving money is important, But with insurance, saving money on premium may cost you big dollars on claims. Why? Because not all policies are created equally. So, if you come across someone who does not have a clear insurance strategy, or you yourself don't, they probably need an insurance review or a policy checkup. And John Allen with Texas Community Insurance can help. He is trusted in the industry, and he has helped me and many of my clients over the years save tons of money and get properly insured. Call 214-736-9696. That's 214-736-9696, and we will personally introduce you to John Allen to get that review, get that checkup, and take care of your needs. You can also reach out on Facebook.com/Tuttle Talk.
In the Metroplex, there's only one station you can turn to for the Savage Nation. Join me, Michael Savage, weeknights at 6 to 9 p.m. on 1190 AM KFXR.
And we're back. You are listening to Tuttle Talk on the Real Estate Radio Network. I am your host, Andy Tuttle. You can reach me at 214-736-9696 or on Facebook at facebook.com/Tuttle Talk. You can also catch all shows at andytuttle.com. And don't forget, I'm telling you this a lot this show because this is the last show. You want free electricity? You want to have a month of free electricity and not pay that bill? You've been paying big bills. I know you do. Get out your phone then. Dial 72727 and then type in Andy T, ANDYT, no spaces, to enter to win a free month of electricity. Our friends over at Utility Concierge have done this great service for us and for you. Not much time left, guys, like 20-ish minutes. So get it in there, 72727. I have two wonderful realtors with me today. Mr. Chris Ohlig, he is with Halo Realty Group. He has a focus on the Colony and Frisco. He was actually the top rookie in top production in 2009 for his old company before he came over to Halo. He has served on the Agent Leadership Council at that company, and he is even a part of the Collin County Young Professionals Network. Now he sits on that committee as well with me, and he's a multi-million-dollar producer. Chris, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Andy.
Yes, of course, my pleasure. I have another excellent realtor, also way prettier than Mr. Ohlig. No offense.
It's all right.
Tessa Larson is with Keller Williams Plano. She earned actually 2 business degrees at the University of North Texas. Great work. And she has made some television appearances on Hot on Homes, and she was on another site like that. It was what was the name of that
Landon
one?
Homes.
Landon Homes. And she was also the top realtor of the month, like on listings, right, at your old company?
Correct.
All right. That's fantastic. She has developed a contact agreement with her clients that we'll talk about. I think is very neat. Separates her in the marketplace. Also very involved in the community and serves on the YPN with both myself and Chris. Tessa, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, since I mentioned YPN twice. It was not a coincidence. I teed that up.
Nice.
How do you guys feel about the YPN? Nick Klein, if you're listening, don't get mad at us.
It's been great, actually. This year was our first year. We kicked it off in 2011. We have a dynamic group of people here in Collin County that really know what they're talking about, and we've brought a lot to the table. It's fresh. I think we're up for an award, even on the national level, for what we've done. I could be speaking too soon, but
probably. Most of the time, Tessa, doesn't Chris speak too soon?
Always.
Okay. Yeah, anyway, so it's great. No, I love it. I love working with you, Andy, Tessa. We have a great group, so
Absolutely.
It's gone really good.
Yeah, Tessa, how do you feel about how the YPN has gone as far as your expectations versus what you think it's doing in the community for realtors?
I think that it absolutely exceeds my expectations. Just as far as we have an absolute dynamic group. So many people have brought so much to the table. I mean, just the experience, the quality, everything that people have that have come to this table is just way more than I expected. And I think that, in all, I think that we are truly changing the face of real estate in being young professionals, and what we expect out of the market and our clients and stuff like that is just huge.
I think so too. I think you have there's a lot of innovation. That's what I like about being a part of the Young Professionals Network, is that you always have to have your marketing and your strategies aligned with what's going on in the market. And this is a changing market. And now, of course, going forward, the echo boomers, right, are going to be the biggest buyers in the marketplace over the next several years. And so a little different look. They want different things, right? Everybody's looking at things online now. There's a whole different strategy and a need that the client has. And what I like that you guys are doing, and Nick Klein and the people at CCAR have been so kind to to organize and put on and let me be a part of is a program that really gives back to the community and helps the realtors network together, right? Because a great client for you is not only the buyer, but another agent that might have a house that you have listed that they need to buy that, or vice versa, right? And so it's a great way to network and connect that I just glad to be a part of that. So thank you, everyone. Who else do we need to thank at the YPN? Do we need just like a Academy Award speech?
Stephanie Allen's great.
Stephanie Allen's
No,
good.
actually, everyone on the board's awesome. But CCAR, the Collin County Association of Realtors, done a great job backing us, supporting us. The charities that we've given the money to, that we've raised in our events, I think they're appreciative. So check out the website, and it'll have links to those charities if you feel like giving back as well. So
isn't that ccar.net?
CCAR.net.
CCAR.net, Collin County Association of Realtors. CCAR.net. You can look up the charities they give to. That's a great idea to do that. Okay, Tessa, I am interested in this.
All right.
You have a nice little unique agreement called the contact agreement you have with your clients. What's that all about?
Well, the contact agreement was put in place because over and over you hear clients complain about how they don't hear from their realtors. There's not enough communication. People drop the ball and whatnot. So I put in place this contact agreement. It's a form within one of my presentations, and it just goes over what time you want to be contacted. For example, if you are selling a house, my contact agreement with you would be like Tuesday at 5 p.m. every Tuesday or once a month, text, email, phone call, whatever you prefer, that I would go ahead and get in contact with you on that date and let you know what was new with your listing, what direction we're going with selling your house, if we need to take a price reduction, if we need to stage it better, whatever feedback we have. Every Tuesday, I'm going to be in contact with you at that time, not necessarily Tuesday, but whatever day and time
only
you
on
pick.
Tuesdays. You only do calls on Tuesdays.
No, whatever day you pick, if it's once a month, twice a week, whatever, I will call you at that time every week.
Sundays at 11 p.m.
Absolutely.
Oh, my gosh.
And you know what? I'm going to
believe it.
ask you how you are, what's going on. Let's talk about your
You're going to
house.
wake me up. Why are you calling me?
You asked me to.
That's right. Oh, I forgot about that.
But the contract agreement basically is my agreement with you that we will stay in contact, that there will be communication 100% of the time. As always, you can call me when you need to, as needed. But this is a guaranteed time, 5 o'clock Tuesday, I'm going to call you, pick up your phone. We're going to talk. If there's nothing to talk about, I'm going to ask how you are, what your kids are doing, what's new. Did your dog get out of the vet? I mean, whatever. I'm going to ask you what's going on,
That's right. That's good. I like that because that is the biggest communication in our industry because there's just so much going on. Everybody gets into information overwhelm. You need to have something that guarantees that no matter what's happening or not happening, at least they know they're going to get a call. I love that. Good job, Tessa. You're listening to Tuttle Talk on the Real Estate Radio Network. I'm talking with Chris Ohlig, realtor at Halo Realty Group, has his own group, and Tessa Larson over at Keller Williams Plano. Chris, I know you're not just a big producer. You also fancy yourself a little artist. I hear a lot about that.
Do you?
Yes, I do. I mean, it's all from you, but I...
Oh, okay. No, I grew up doing art. It was kind of like my thing. It was my way of expressing myself. I wasn't old enough to work or anything, so, I did art to communicate back to my peers. Like you just mentioned, communication is key in this business, any business in life. Communication is the key to success. So I think expressing yourself is a form of communication, and art was my outreach to give back to the people. So
who are some of your favorite artists?
Picasso is probably, I just remember learning about Picasso when I was growing up, and I just absolutely loved him as a painter because he kind of took a boundary that no one would cross and created that abstract, just of a person,
right.
Just abstract art. And
you like some modern artists too, don't you? Like Banks? You told Banksy.
Banksy.
You told me about Banksy. Yeah,
I like Banksy. I guess it's kind of a form that most people probably wouldn't appreciate because it's a form of graffiti art.
Right.
But it's still a form of expression, and people driving down the street, if they see, a sticker on a sign or, a painting on a billboard that shouldn't be there, it still gets them to think about something other than what was, paid to be on that
right.
image.
And I think Banksy even though what I like about Banksy is It's tasteful, and I think in some ways he's got the right idea there, and I like that about it. It's not just rebellious graffiti for that sake. I've actually seen some of your work. You showed me some of it. It's really good. You actually do have a good talent there. Tessa, wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. I like his Tupac Shakur one. That was cool.
I didn't see that one. I want to see that one.
It was an unfinished piece. I was doing it for a friend while he was in college, and then it kind of got set to the side, and it has been drawn on multiple times since then. I'm assuming that's what you're referring to.
Yeah, it ended up in my trunk at one point in time. I have no idea how it got there.
Very organic. It's a living piece.
I think I was going to give it to one of your friends because I didn't know what to do with it. So, yeah, it's just kind of, I've had a lot of pieces just kind of floated around with me in all the places I've moved, and that was definitely one of them.
So you've been, Tessa.
I just wanted to say Chris is really cool with the fact that he paints all these things, and then people say, "Oh my God, that's awesome! Can I have it?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, take it, cool, whatever." He doesn't care. He's just very passionate about what he does. Today. And then he ends up the next day, and he's like, "Where did that piece go?" I mean, but he's generous, you know. He means well.
That is great. Yeah, he means well. He loses all his art and all that hard work. I'm coming to your house to get some of that, and then I'm going to sell it. So, Chris, You've been very successful. You've been a good artist, obviously, but successful in real estate. And besides hard work, I know you work hard, man. I know that you have a reputation for that. But what else do you think sets you apart?
I took the artist in me as an approach to create new things in the marketplace with technology. I've always tried to be innovative with the way I'm marketing, because whether it's art and, again, going back to the communication aspect, you have to be able to reach out to people that normally would not reach out to you because they don't know who you are. So you have to find a way to attract them, whether it's online marketing, whether it's sending out flyers or just talking to people. You have to attract people to you in order to obtain the objective that everybody's trying to reach, which is they're trying to find a house and you're trying to sell them a house. And it's important to
work with those people in a way that, you see how I finished that up? I started to cut you off there, but I just like where you were going with that. I think it's important to work with people in such a way that you meet them where they're at. And that's what I like about good marketing, good innovative marketing right now. We are in a convenience market, and we need to be, you guys, that's why I like young realtors. And you've been in the business a long time, really 3 to 5 years. You learn what you need to learn, and you have a lot of experience, and you're aggressive. And I think that's what helps you understand those people, why they gravitate towards you, is because you are seeking ways to know where they're at and what they need, and then finding them, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Tessa, how did you get into real estate?
Well, that's a funny question.
It didn't seem very funny.
It is funny. No, multiple things. I guess as far as ending up at Keller Williams, that would be attributed to Chris, absolutely. But real estate in general.
So Chris recruited you over to Keller Williams.
He did, absolutely.
And then he left there. He's like, "Here you go, I'm out."
Yeah,
he's like your successor. I see.
Yeah, I'm his apprentice. No, but I started in real estate. My dad started in the start of Century 21 back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And had his own office in real estate. Yeah, absolutely. So I've kind of always known about real estate.
It's in your blood.
It is, not by choice some days. But and then my brother-in-law has his own brokerage. My sister works for Ebby.
Okay.
So it's a lot. It's around me a lot, and I have a knack for selling. So real estate just kind of fit, and I really found that out when I worked for a home builder back in about 2005. I worked for a home builder in the area.
Right.
And I really enjoyed watching people build a house and move in, and it was just rewarding emotionally. And I just thought, you know what, this is really what I want to do.
That's good, because that's the right way to get into it, because it's not all about the money. And we'll talk about that in a minute, because it's not as much as everybody thinks. There's a lot of 3%. The agents don't get all that, people, just so you know. It's not what they're getting. There's marketing costs and a billion other costs you don't even know about, because that's not sexy on media. But I want to get into, when you talk about getting into it for the right reasons and getting into the home for the right reasons is what people want. And so you represent Plano. Why is it the right reason? Why is it the right place? What makes Plano special for clients?
Plano has a really good relocation reputation. There's a lot of corporations around the area here in Addison, Plano, just amongst the whole Collin County Metroplex area. Right. There's a ton of corporate things. Not only that, we have exemplary schools, very far north. There's a lot of them. Right. And so between schools and well-paying jobs, and it's just really family-orientated. It's safe. Plano came out as the #1 safest city. Was it last year?
Yeah. either this
2010,
year
right?
or 2011.
2010
I think it came
or
out
2011.
2011.
Doesn't
it was
matter.
either way.
The article was it was one of the safest cities to live in. I mean, there's a ton of reasons to live in Plano. The market here is really good. A lot of people have established something, with a family, a home, a job. There's just multiple reasons to live here.
Yeah, Plano is great, Collin County too, and they really created their own. You don't have to go downtown anymore. You can just stay right there in Plano. Plano's got its own cool downtown area. I know it. I love going there all the time off of 15th Street. They got Urban Crust, all cool. It's like an old feel, but then you can go up to West Plano. It's a whole different feel.
Right.
But you can stay right in there. It's its own city center, and I love that. Chris, in the Colony and Frisco, I've heard this in different parts of the nation, but in Colony and Frisco, I'm curious, how's the inventory?
The inventory is actually down because a lot of people just don't have the need to sell because that's where the jobs are. So there's not a lot of homes on the market. However, with the wave of people that are moving here for all the new companies that are being relocated here, you got Nebraska Furniture Mart that just broke ground a few days ago. That's bringing, I think, 4,000 construction jobs, about 1,800 permanent jobs once that's in place, right there off 121. It's just bringing a lot of people to the area, and since there's not a lot of inventory, a lot of people are pushing into that new home development up north. Like even the Colony, it does have new home sites, but you see a lot in like Castle Hills, Little Elm, North Frisco, Prosper. It's all moving north, and it's primarily new homes that people are wanting to move into for a ton of reasons.
Well, let's hold on that because I want to get into that. We're going to talk about tips for sellers because that's a challenge I think sellers face right now.
Absolutely.
Is the pre-existing versus the home builders, and we're going to talk about that. You're listening to Tuttle Talk. I'm speaking with Chris Ohlig and Tessa Larson, both great agents in the area in Plano, Frisco, really the Collin County area. So if you're looking to buy or sell, or you may be in the market, or know someone that may be in the market in the next few months, call us at 214-736-9696, and I'll personally connect you to them. Now, one of the goals of the show, guys, is to offer up good practical tips for buyers and sellers. So, Tessa, what should buyers be doing? Why should buyers be buying right now? I guess I should ask.
Okay, great question. Andy, I guess a lot of reasons, and I'm just going to give you the top 5 for right now. Number 1 is the supply is shrinking. The number of houses on inventory is shrinking, and I know Chris would agree with me on that. Not only that, but the housing increase for price is on the rise. The prices for homes is on the up and up. They said that it's projected in one of the articles I just read last week, said that by 2016, house prices will be 10% increased. That's a huge amount.
Huge. So this would say it's the perfect storm. Lowest rates, lowest prices. Get in.
Absolutely. So you should be buying low and selling high, which is my third point. You're people who said real estate is where the profit's at. This is not the better time to absorb all of those things. Fourth, rent is skyrocketing. It's expensive to rent a house. You can make a mortgage payment, and I could go on all day about this. I do a ton of leases, and I mean, it's insane that people will walk in and pay $2,000 to rent a house, but they won't buy.
Rent a house or an apartment. And the only thing, it's just like you can get into a great home right now, pay less, have tax deductibility, have your own place.
Absolutely.
Right.
There's multiple reasons you should own over buy, rent over buy, but
buy over rent.
Whatever.
It doesn't matter. Details.
Semantics.
Yes.
Lastly,
tomato.
like you said, that the interest rates, which you got to call Andy Tuttle for, but interest rates are so low. I mean, this is historic lows. There isn't any better time than now to get an interest rate and get into a house.
So what would you say the first thing a buyer should do? And we got just a few more minutes here, but I want to talk about what are some good things for buyers looking to make that first step. What would you suggest they do, Chris?
The first thing that you really have to not let go of is location, because if you're being relocated here for work, and there's a lot of relocation, that's kind of why I'm touching on it. If you're being relocated here for work, you really have to pay attention to where the distance that you're going to be driving, because of all the construction that's taking place, even with the roads, the widening of roads, the expansion of roads to accommodate all the people. You don't want to be too far from your work. But at the same time...
Or have your wife too far from her work. That's how it is in my house. I could drive 2 hours, but as long as she's close, we're okay.
But on the flip side, more people are starting to work from home. So it might be more beneficial for that person to live just a little farther north or a little farther east, outside of where they typically would work, to get a better price, more home, more land for their money and not have to worry about commuting regularly, because most jobs are going to home-based jobs.
That's good, and we are spreading that out, and I do. That is a good point that you make. Also, if you work with an expert realtor, work with someone who's not a part-timer, you're going to get yourself into trouble. There's a lot of things we don't have time to get into today, but when you work with someone that's part-time, that's what you're going to get out of it. You need to work with someone who understands your market. You need to get pre-approved up front, right, guys?
Absolutely.
You got to do that because you got to know what you're really buying. Don't wait till the last minute. There's a lot of things you can do to improve your financial situation, improve your score, which improves your terms, but you got to do that up front. In our last minute here, I want to ask you, Tessa,
Yeah.
people talk about election years. For sellers, let's switch to sellers for tips real quick. Should people be concerned that it's an election year? Should they hold on selling because it's an election year?
Not really. Honestly, I've run into this problem a couple times, and people buy and sell all year long. People have to move for jobs, families, schools, whatever the reason may be. And election or not, it doesn't matter. Prices are going to increase regardless if they move or not, or inventory is going to shrink regardless if they move or not. And I just really feel like the election year shouldn't have as much to do as people are making it out to be. And that may be just an objective that they're throwing at me that we can overcome. But overall, I really don't feel like the election year is a huge, significant impact on whether you need to sell your house or not.
Just all the talking heads just tell you that. So you heard it here first. Local expert, you don't need to listen to that. It does sell. It's not going to, you think it's going to change after the election year? That's not going to happen. Yes, rates are lower in an election year. They've also been lower the last 3 years. Okay, it's spiked with or without an election, so don't think of that. Chris, any final thoughts in 30 seconds that you have for sellers?
If you search online, don't take it for everything that you see. A lot of the stuff online is going to be, get some research from online, but talk to your professionals in the area, whether it's a realtor, a mortgage expert, because the rates you find online probably aren't accurate to that area. The information you find on homes online might not be accurate up to the minute, or some of the places could have been sold a week ago, a month ago. There's a lot of ad-based sites out there that generate income from people visiting. So do some searching online, but still reach out to your local people.
That's the way to do it. You're listening to Tuttle Talk. I hope you've enjoyed this hour. Tessa, Chris, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
No problem. Guys, don't forget to get your boots on. Support our troops. Go to bootcampaign.com. Buy your pair. We wear them the first Friday of every month. Show us your pictures. We want to see them. Support all kinds of Wounded Warrior and other soldier, troop, military charities. Please do that. Also, text 72727 and text Andy T and get your chance to win a free month of electricity, sponsored by Utility Concierge. If you'd like to discuss anything related to today's topics with me directly, call the show's off-air number, 214-736-9696. Or if you're looking to buy or sell, call that number, 214-736-9696. I will introduce you to one of two fantastic agents here with me today. Next week, I'm going to bring a luxury home specialist on the show who also happens to have a pretty nice golfing skin on the wall, so you'll want to join us for that discussion. I'd like to thank John Allen, Randy Nichols, and my special guests, Chris and Tessa, for joining me. I'd also like to thank Danny Miles, our production director, and the entire family here at KFXR. That's it for today. Race Talk with Pete Hronis is coming up next. This is Andy Tuttle for the Real Estate Radio Network. We'll be back here next Saturday from 11 to 12 right here on KFXR. Don't forget, you can listen on the radio, podcast, the website. You can listen on your iHeartRadio app. So thank you so much for listening to Tuttle Talk, where we're making financial intelligence a priority in the community. Have a great weekend.
Randall Nichols is a registered representative of and offers securities, investment advisory, and financial planning services through MML Investor Services, LLC. Member SIPC, 5080 Spectrum Drive, Suite 902W, Addison, Texas, 75001.